Video 17, and we're halfway through the battle. I'm spinning the troops as I explained on the previous video. Voice is still raspy, by the way. I'm still on the second day of putting the voices on all of these videos after the problems that I had previously. If you remember, the microphone got disconnected when I made all of these videos, so I'm now having to do a voiceover afterwards. Right, okay, we're hitting the ship. You can see that its sails are taking a lot of damage there. It's still got its mast, but it's hoisted its sails, which means that is it furling and unfurling? I can't remember which way around it is now, but I think furling the colours is when you well, they're not colours, of course, are they? Sails, but I'm thinking about colours. You know, they say furling and unfurling, so I think that they are furled at the moment. Oh no, he's just dropped them now. You see that? You can see wind direction. The wind is going straight from the top of the screen down to the bottom, so it's a north-south wind. You call that a north wind. So he's obviously decided that he needs his sails down to give him a little bit of speed. Maybe that's what he's trying to do. Maybe he's trying to get away. He's either trying to get away or isolate that one ship there at the bottom while the others can't reach him. You notice he's sort of going further and further out of the range of those other ships that I've got at the top there. So we're going to struggle to catch up with him. We're aiming towards him, or we're aiming to move towards him. I shall be now moving that ship there at the bottom around in order to block him off, because I have a feeling that he's going to try and get away there. Well, there's one of his masts down, so that's good news. So that should slow him down significantly. There's still two other masts there, even though he hasn't got sails. And let's have a look, see what the rest of the ships are doing. Okay, I'm just turning that one round, thinking I might be able to get a shot in there. Now, usually in these games, if naval battles, if their masts go down, then they'll surrender. It's not always the case, but yeah, it's always worth a try. At least he's not getting away, and we're not damaging the hull of the ship, which is expensive to replace. The sails are easier to replace. The masts, unfortunately, not. It will cost more money to repair the ship. And of course, while I'm doing this, I'm creating damage, or rather allowing him to do damage to my own ships. It's going to cost me money to repair. I had to stop this ship from firing there, because it would have fired across my own ship, creating damage. So I'm trying to get that ship on the right hand side out of the way so it's not firing across the other ship there. Okay, there goes another mast. It can't be long now. Pretty sure it isn't. I can't remember now. It's probably still a couple of minutes away, you know, 2 or 3 minutes even. So this ship here should have automatic fire turned off on it. I thought that's what I'd done. Sometimes I just put them on grape shot. If they're a distance away, where I know they can't reach, I'll put them on grape shot, because they won't fire from a greater distance than the ammunition can actually be launched. The range of that particular ammunition. They'll fire across their own ships by all means, but they won't fire when they're out of range. So, so look over here. I just wish there was a button you could click that says don't fire, you know, if your own ship is in the way, but you can't do that. So, okay. What I'm trying to do now is bring my ships a lot closer. If I can get close enough, I can hit him with grape, because all his masts are down now and all his sails are down, so I'm not hitting anything else by hitting him with a chain shot. So I'm trying to go across his hull and across his bows, so that I can fire down along his decks to thin out his crews. He's still going to be able to fire at my ships there from a distance, which he certainly is doing. Now, there you go. I think we might be close enough now for the grape shot. Just change it over to grape shot. Make that turning circle a little bit wider. That's right. Turn out one way first. I was forgetting what I've done in the game. Turn out one way first so you've got to swing in. So you can get really, really close when you do that, when you place those shots. You see, grape shot range is very, very close. Now, I could have gone in and boarded, but you lose a lot of men when you do that. And, you know, the number of men I've got is very similar to the number of men I've got. So it wouldn't be much advantage to me. I just end up losing men and having to pay more to replenish the ships afterwards. Okay, he's still creating hull damage by firing ball across there. Okay. And, oh yes, he's wavering now at last. Looks like I have to bring more ships up here. You wouldn't believe it, would you? 4 ships surrounding him, no sails left, and he's still fighting on, really, now. I mean, that should really, at that point, be a surrender, I would have thought. But, either that, or if you're willing to fight that recklessly, just burning your own ship, destroying your own ship. But anyhow, I want the ship, so I'm going to play the game. It's a close victory, presumably because of all the damage that he's created on my ships. In the meantime, it doesn't take into account there the fact that you've captured a ship. And there it is. There's a lot of money I could get for that ship. Can't remember how much it was. It was about 2,000, I think it was, because it's a third rate. I'm definitely going to want to add that to my fleet. And there we go. I think I've got 3 third rates now, and a 4th rate, and a 5th rate, which is my flagship as well. You'll see more clearly on there what those are. I can't see it from here because of this tiny screen I'm using, of course, as I said before, when I'm doing the voiceover. So, those are the troops I put in there, if you remember, to get the ship out of the port. In order to repair that port, so that I can then repair my ships, I need to take the town. So I noticed there weren't any troops in there. They're only armed citizenry, so they should accept a surrender, really. So I went for the surrender, and sure enough, they accepted that. So somebody gave me that advice a long, long time ago, probably 6 months ago. If there's only armed citizenry in there, they will generally accept a surrender. So I've taken that without loss, so I don't have to replenish any of my men in there. And of course, I do need to repair the building. And then once I've done that, I can repair also the port. Now, I won't be able to repair my ships yet. I can put them in there, but I won't be able to repair them until the port is completely repaired in itself. There's a plantation on there as well, perhaps a tobacco plantation, so there should be a nice bit of trade coming from there as well. So, if you think about it, I've given away Georgia, which is earning like next to nothing for me, about 60. I've raised ships, I've come over, I've stolen a ship that hasn't cost me money to build, which would have been about, I don't know, 1,600 or something. And I've gained the Bahamas, which is, got a plantation on there, and it's given me a stepping stone forward with my fleet as well. So it's added another ship to my fleet and brought me a little bit further out so that I can go hunting for enemy ships. So it's a move in the right direction. Somebody said I play like a chess player. They're quite right, I do. I had to give something away in order to get something better. I honestly don't think I could have held on to Georgia. I think I'd have ended up with a war with the Spanish. I mean, perhaps with my fleet now, it wouldn't be so bad, but they would have cut off my trade, the Spanish, there's no doubt about it. Okay. Right, just checking, see what he's got there. Nothing. Odd troops have come down here to threaten Montreal, of course. Usual dilemma. Can I move in against the Iroquois? Or do I need to be in Montreal to defend it against the small numbers of British that are coming down? Do I allow the British to ransack that area, destroying buildings that are important for my economy there as well, because if I take troops out, then the population is less settled. If he's destroyed the local coaching inn, then of course the population would be more unsettled, which means that I have to keep troops in there, which I don't want to do. So it's a bit of a dilemma there for me. I decided to raise troops in Quebec so I can get better troops in Quebec than I can in Montreal. So if I can raise those and then move them across to Montreal afterwards. You can see the sort of troops that are available there in Montreal. I think I decided I wasn't going to have any of those at all. I'm just going to get them all in Quebec and move them across. There comes a point when, or there will come a point, sorry, I don't know yet, I've only done a couple of turns ahead of this, perhaps only one actually, but there will come a point when I meet an army the same size as my own, when we get to full capacity of 20 in each army, and at that point the quality difference is going to count, and my tech is well behind any of the other nations, and the type of troops that I can raise is also well behind that of other nations. So I am going to have to start paying some attention to that so that I can improve the troops that I get from places like Philadelphia and Quebec. But in the meantime, let's start building up the economy again, looking around at which roads and which farms that I can build. I'm a bit reticent to build in some areas, thinking, well, it's a bit of a waste building in there. One benefit of building roads, of course, is they can't be destroyed by the enemy, not unless they take your town, of course. This is one that I thought, do I, don't I? Do I really need to move lots of troops across this small island? Does an improvement of, say, just a couple of a couple of points worth of income really justify spending all the money on a road. I'm not too sure, but so usual debate really, which one I'm going to upgrade, which one will give me the most benefit from having roads I can travel along quicker, and which ones it would be a waste of time because I don't really need to travel along them at all. So it's making that balance between the two. These are the troops I'm thinking, do you see how they can reach the Iroquois territory? Now, I was hoping that the roads would be ready at Montreal, so my troops would be able to reach all the way from Montreal to the Iroquois territory. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to. Okay, so what we've got now is just a double check, after checking what troops we're raising in various places. We've decided now that these are the roads that I'm going to update. Over there in Acadia, there's nowhere leading, I'm not going anywhere, you see, there's nothing to send troops to and from, so it's a bit of a waste building roads up there, but it just seemed more sensible than building them in the Bahamas. And of course roads that you build elsewhere now I've upgraded some of the roads, they're going to be they're going to be much more expensive because they're the next stage of road, and of course the final stage is tarmac roads. I'm not even sure I've got the technology to be able to build those yet, actually. Well, I'm very pleased with this turn, having got my first ship, having got my navy up and running. It's taken all this time. What are we up to now? Video 17. It's taken me up to video 17 to get an active fleet together, to raise one and to capture another ship, to make it into a fairly decent sized fleet there. So it really has taken quite a long time to reach this point. Video 17, 15 minutes every video, that's quite a long time to get what I want. Anyway, turn end here, just showing the relevant moves. So the British, I think I skipped the French altogether in this one, to be honest. I don't think they do anything relevant at all. This is the British stopping the main port for the French, which means I'll get no trade through the French whatsoever, my principal ally, because they're blocking the port there. Okay, and then of course we've got the little raids going on there. These are the Cherokee. I showed these because I just want to keep an eye on what they're doing. They are allies of mine, so they should be doing good things, but it's always worth keeping an eye on them. Now you notice that port there, that's the main port for the Spanish. That was attacked by the pirate ship there. They're still blockading it, mind you, or they will be. Well, actually, I think they're just blocking the trade route now. They had just destroyed the port completely, and of course that's a problem for me because I'm trading with Spain as well. Okay, what I'm going to do now is just go through all the turn end things. This tells me, sort of what's been recruited and what's been built. So, well, I'll do that in a moment. Just checking that these have been repaired. That's the thing, and make sure that the ships are going to be repaired as well in that port now that it itself has been repaired. I haven't actually asked it to repair the ships yet. I don't think I do. I think I do it a bit later in the turn. I want to know what money I've got available, but I don't see why. I should really go for that straight away because it's something I do want. I'm doing my usual bit here, looking around for the British fleet. Where is it? I'm so desperate for that fleet to come out. If it's there, I might even forego the repairs and just go straight for that British fleet. So good look around. Can't see a thing. Where on earth did that British fleet go? There aren't even any British territories south of here. So why did it head off down south from there? I just don't know. Well, surely I must, before this end of this video, I would have thought that I'd have at least replenished those ships, repaired them. Maybe I was deciding before repairing them, if there was anywhere I could attack with them in the short term, but really not too sure about that. I certainly do a lot of looking around, don't I, for those British ships. Determined to find them. I'm pretty peeved that I can't get them. Okay, just look through the turn end reports. Yeah, I haven't replenished those ships yet. Obviously wanted to see the turn end reports first. I don't know why. I definitely want to replenish those. Okay, and these are troops recruited. They're the ones in Quebec. 2 lots of regular infantry, and then the cavalry. They're the roads and the fort built there. I can't remember which one that was. Was that Quebec? I'm not too sure, but anyway, one of my forts is built as well. So things are starting to look a little bit more secure for me with defended borders.